It's time once again for That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ, where business becomes show business. Now, live in studio and promoting the entrepreneurial spirit that drives the American economy, your host, Jamie Maloney.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for tuning in yet again to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Again, if you're catching the show on the air for the first time, this show comes on weekdays at 8 a.m. here on 1250 WHNZ as I talk to different business owners, entrepreneurs, political leaders, and people making a difference in and around the Tampa Bay and regional communities. As always, I invite you over to my website, tampabayradio.com. Over there, you can catch all the past shows on demand. Also on the site, you'll notice that I sell real estate. I've been a professional real estate agent for 8 years now, and I specialize in the sale of bank-owned properties. And on the site, you can peruse all the local real estate listings, get a free home valuation by clicking on the Sell Your Home link on the homepage, and also catch all of my pre-listed properties prior to hitting the market. We have a link on the homepage that says pre-list properties, and you can see all those. And I and my team carry a lot of different real estate listings all across the area, anywhere from a couple hundred to three, even got up to 500 listings before on my team. So we got a lot of stuff on the website. And like I've mentioned many times before, bank listing agents were different from traditional real estate agents. Properties are assigned to us weeks, months in advance of ever hitting the MLS, and only on my website will you know about those properties prior to hitting the multiple listing service, so you can begin to conduct your due diligence and get an offer in as soon as that property hits the market. The market out there very competitive. A lot of properties going into bidding wars, multiple offer situations, and definitely need to be ready to make offers as soon as possible when they hit the market. Also, please connect with me on all the different social networking sites. You can find me over on Facebook.com/That Business Show. We put up all the show updates, upcoming guests, and things of that nature over there. And also, you can find me over on Twitter under Jamie_Maloney. Well, my first guest this morning, I haven't. She's not checked in just yet. I'm supposed to be talking with Carol Margolis, business travel industry expert, but she's not on the line with us just yet. But as always, Thursdays we have Charlie the Plumber in here, so I know we have no shortness of conversation today with a hashtag American Plumber. So as the conversation carries through, feel free to tag him in any post. Let him know if you agree or disagree with him. He definitely invokes emotions into people when he's in here on the show. So definitely get some feedback from him each and every day. Charlie, how are you doing today?
Doing well, Jamie. And you know what, Carol, she's probably late on one of those flights that don't show up on
business.
time.
Yeah, business travel industry expert and best-selling author of a number of different books. She was supposed to be in today to talk about business travel, but maybe something hung up. Yeah, she may be tied up on a flight somewhere. Who knows? So, but regardless, I got you in studio, and I know that you have no shortness of a conversation, so to speak.
No, not at all, Jamie. There's so much to discuss, so much happening in the world today. Hey, first of all, I'd like to give a shout to Yeager Flooring and Company, another great American company, a great American success story. I'd like to say hi to everybody over there, Jeff, Rich, Robin, Beth, Ruth, Susie, Susan.
Yeah, I got to thank him as well, because he's the one who introduced me to you. A lot of people ask me, how do you get hooked up with old Charlie the Plumber there? And I was like, well, I don't know if you remember, but back when I first started doing the show and Yeager was in here, and he's like, I'm a little bit dry, a little bit boring. I got my boy Charlie the Plumber. He's much more entertaining. Mind if I bring him in? I was like, sure, come on in, and here you are.
Yeah, and you know what? And I've done a few shows, and they haven't thrown me off the air yet. Hey, no complaints from the FCC quite yet. But anyway, yeah, the story on that goes, Jim kind of told it backwards. The real story was Rich and his son Jeff were driving down State Road 54 right by, Land O'Lakes, Florida. And they were right behind me in my little red pickup truck with the Marine Corps tag on it. And had Palavita Plumbing with my phone number, 813-920-3028. Mm-hmm. And Jeff told me, he says, yeah, he punched it in his father's phone, and his daddy Rich called me up and started talking to me. He says, we do bathrooms and kitchens, and Jim Yeager's looking for a plumber. We see that you're a Marine. He says, you'll fit right in. I'm thinking, brilliant. So he gives me Jim's number, and that's how we got hooked up, because Jim has Marine Corps tags on all of his truck. You know what? It's like Marines working with Marines, and Jim's a Marine. His brother Bud is a Vietnam Marine Corps veteran as well, and you know what? It's just, I give my hats off to them because, they're trying to do the right thing. Employee service people, they're, especially Marines, and they do a great job.
Yeah, you're all suited up today and in full fatigues over there. People that are watching the stream, they can see him. You got the full military gear on. Is that the original issue from back in when you were in the military? Or did you have to kind of?
Yeah, back in 1978. You know what? When I was in boot camp in 1978, we had the straight green fatigues, and they were being phased out, and so they gave us these too. So we had to buy 2 sets of uniforms in boot camp, and this is what we wore. And then later on, they went to the desert uniforms as well. But no, I had to do this in honor to my 4 Marine Corps brothers and my Navy brother that were murdered by that terrorist rat bastard up in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Yeah, I know. As soon as that hit, I know you sent me that text message, that as soon as that hit. And what amazes me about that whole situation, though, is nobody really batted an eye. I mean, it was on the news for a few days, and it still is. But meanwhile, you have a criminal that gets beat up by the police, and it's national news. It's the subject of all these different talking points, social media posts. But 4 actually, or 5 Marines? I think a 5th Marine.
There's 4 Marines and a sailor that were murdered. And as a matter of fact, it just came out today. One of the Marines had an unauthorized sidearm. See, this is so pathetic because they should all have sidearms. So he had an unauthorized 9mm Glock. This is what the story that I read this morning, Jamie. And he was shooting at the terrorist when he came into the building when they started shooting the Marines. And he drew fire of the terrorist, and the terrorist started coming after him. Now, if the terrorist would have gone the other way, there was a room that had 20 Marines and 2 sailors unarmed in that particular room, and they probably would have been slaughtered. So this Marine is a hero. Even though he died in the firefight, that makes him more than a hero because he gave up his life to save the lives of others. And there's a lieutenant commander in the Navy that was there also, Jamie, that had a so-called unauthorized sidearm, and he fired back at the perpetrator of the terrorist.
So let me ask: is he under investigation or subject to any type of problems because he had the unauthorized sidearm?
Sure, and that's the pathetic thing about it. And he's just there trying to protect himself and his troops. And like I told these guys, hey, when I was in the Marine Corps back in 1978. I carried an unauthorized sidearm wherever I went. You know what? I figured it was my duty to carry a sidearm. Because to protect myself and to protect others, because that's what Marines do. I actually got pulled over on base at Camp Lejeune one day by an MP, and he searched my truck and he found my .38 caliber pistol. And he says, Marine, I can arrest you for this. And I says, you know something? I says, I never gave you permission to search my truck anyway. I was being nice to him. And it was funny because he looked at my license and he says, oh, you're from Florida. He says, I'm from Daytona Beach. He says, look, I'm going to do this. I'm going to give you your weapon back. He says, take it to the armory. And if I ever pull you over again, I don't want to find it in your truck. So I told him, thank you, right, I'll go ahead and do it. But you know what? I still carried it with me because that's what Marines do. I feel like I'd be useless without my weapon. And like I tell people, my guns have never killed anybody that didn't need killing.
Daytona Beach, that's definitely a different type of mentality over there. Good thing you ran into somebody from Daytona because that's like a whole other area over there. They kind of run by their own laws and rules over there. So definitely great. I love to hang out over there. I was actually over there on the 4th of July weekend. I didn't get to take my bike this past time, but I like to go over there at least once or twice a year and ride my motorcycle around. I have a couple different Harleys. So it's a great
that's great. You know what? You can do that because our military keeps us free so we can do what we do. So I thank them every day. You know what? Jamie, you know how you stop a bad guy with a gun, right? It's a good guy with a gun. It's a no-brainer. The bad guys are going to have guns no matter what. I heard somebody the other day say, we ought to take guns away from everybody. If anybody has guns, the cops should shoot them and kill them on sight. I'm thinking, are you a freaking moron? Are you some kind of a communist, socialist bigot? I'm going to take away my gun and my rights to defend myself and my family? How dare you? You're despicable. If you don't like this country, don't let the door hit you on the ass on the way out, bud.
Well, it's going to take an administration change before we see a shift in the mentality. I mean, there's just too much focus on, being nice to everybody, trying to keep politically correct. There was a CNN reporter that was spinning the terrorist that killed the Marines as not doing it for Muslim for his beliefs, but rather that he was just another Southern gun nut. I mean,
oh no, he had a bad childhood. Oh No. He had depression. He was bipolar. All this is crap. He was a radical Muslim rat bastard. That's what he was. People don't get it. It's all about Islam.
And so we don't see the same type of outrage that we saw when Dylan Roof, killed the African Americans in the church. It's just too much political correctness, something the government needs to step out of, as I've said a number of times. I myself am a states' rights person. I believe in the states should have their own rights to conduct whatever social policies that they feel. The federal government needs to stick to regulation of interstate commerce, foreign policy, national defense, things of that nature, and regular enforcement of the Constitution.
Amen.
But we're getting into too many social issues, and it's really polluting the entire environment out there. And we've got just too many talking heads that are on the radio spinning just negativity and on the airwaves, and it's really starting to hurt, the American economy.
You know what? I'm going to give kudos to Governor Rick Scott this morning. I heard on the radio on the way over here that he made it legal for our National Guard to start carrying sidearms so they can protect themselves. Brilliant, Governor Scott. Kudos to you, brother. Now, Barack Hussein Obama, how about you? Are you going to order it to where our troops can carry guns to protect themselves here on our soil, to where our recruiters can carry guns, to where our reserve centers, to where they can carry guns to protect themselves? It's time for these to stop being gun-free zones. Hey, how about this? How about both houses of Congress and the White House being gun-free zones? Let's take your freaking guns away. How will you like that? Hey, how about that? You can set the example. Remember, lead by example. Never do anything that you want. You never order a troop to do something you want. Do yourself. So let's take your guns away since you hate guns so much, and let's see how that works out for you, bud.
The always entertaining, always colorful Charlie the Plumber never holds anything back. Feel free to tag him in any social media posts. Let him know what you feel, whether you agree or disagree with him. I always hear from my listeners after he's on the air. But again, Charlie the Plumber, hashtag American Plumber. Got to hit a quick break, but our guest, Carol Margolis, is on the phone. So we're coming back from the break. We're going to shift gears. So we'll talk less about politics and more about business travel when we come back. Maybe so. So coming back from the break, we'll be talking with our guest Carol Margolis here, and you're currently listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage want you to experience the thrill of one-day underwriting and the comfort in knowing your loans will be clear to close in record time. While the competition looks to a lost closing date, Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage focus on their 12-day clear to close. They do this by utilizing their world-class operations staff to underwrite your loan within 6 hours, process your loan in 12 days, and have your loan closed in time. Underwritten in 6 hours, cleared to close in 12 days. Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage.
Tampa Bay weather is a roof killer. That's why when getting your roof done, you want it done right. Hi, I'm Jamie Maloney of That Business Show. When considering a new roof or repair, talk to Westfall Roofing. They've been installing high-quality roofs in Tampa Bay for over 25 years. Get a free, no-obligation estimate by calling 855-99-ROOFING. That's 855-99-ROOFING. Find out what already 15,000 satisfied customers already know. Call now, 855-99-ROOFING.
Are you looking for a local real estate firm that knows the market and has your interests in mind? Then contact Jim McPeak at McPeak Real Estate Firm, a family-owned business whose agents have over 60-plus years of experience in the Tampa Bay market. Many of the agents are military veterans that know the VA process for buying a home and are proud to help our military members in any way they can. From residential to commercial real estate, McPeak Real Estate Firm is here to help. Contact Jim at 813-495-3875 and learn more at McPeakTeam.com.
Have you considered a reverse mortgage as part of your retirement financial plan? For homeowners age 62 or older, a reverse mortgage from Access Reverse Mortgage is a safe, economical way to turn your home's equity into cash or monthly income. Access Reverse Mortgage is a family-owned company based right here in the Tampa Bay area for the past 10 years. They are A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau and Florida's leading reverse mortgage provider. Call 727-347-0305 or go to accessreverse.com to start your research today. NMLS number 4566. That's 727-347-0305. 0305.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com.
Hey there, it's Lynn Wise, the founder of Wise Business Advisors and Contractor Business Alliance. I am a certified value builder advisor, and I help business owners build a company that will allow them to have the business that they dreamed of when they started. Why did you go into business for yourself? I'm sure it was not to work 100 hours a week with no work-life balance and no financial freedom. What am I talking about? I'm talking about building a business that provides value to you and your family now and in the future. You can learn about the 8 essential areas of a business that you must build to have a business that can be an asset for your future. Go to wisebusinessadvisors.com and take the Value Builder score. It is free and will deliver your score immediately on how you are doing on building a valuable business for you and your family. Or call me at 772-834-8513 to learn more about the Value Builder system.
From the Bright House Networks Traffic Center.
Good morning. As we take a look at those roads around Tampa Bay, northbound I-75 slow from the Selma Crosstown to State Road 60. Westbound I-4 slow from 22nd Street to 275. Had a crash along eastbound Ehrlich near the Veterans Expressway. And the Veterans Expressway is very slow from that same area southbound towards Waters. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abraham Son in Utica Hillsborough traffic tip line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by the Foundation for a Better Life.
While many rose up with violence, he sat down for peace. Mahatma Gandhi reached out with the strength he cultivated within his soul. So, pass it on from the Foundation for a Better Life at values.com.
Today, a 40% chance of showers and storms with a high of 90. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 80. Tomorrow, a 60% chance of rain with a high 88.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
Welcome back, everybody. You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Again, you'll find this show on at 8 a.m. weekdays on 1250 WHNZ as I talk to different business owners, entrepreneurs, political leaders, and people making a difference in and around the Tampa Bay and regional communities. And as always, I invite you over to my website, tampabayradio.com. Over there, you can catch all the past shows on demand. And please connect with me on all the different social networking sites, facebook.com/That Business Show, and Twitter under the name Jamie_Maloney. If you're listening to that last segment, Charlie the Plumber in every Thursday here as a guest / co-host as part of the Remodeler's Corner, a weekly feature every Thursdays at 8:30, brought to us by Jim Yeager of Yeager & Company, a third-generation flooring and remodeling company. Learn more about them at YeagerFlooring.com. But time to shift gears right now. I got a guest on the phone line. Carol Margolis is a travel industry innovator and the author of her best-selling book, Business Travel Success: How to Reduce Stress, Be More Productive, and Travel with Confidence. She is with me today to elaborate on some safety tips that will safeguard business travelers in a variety of travel situations. Carol, welcome to the show today.
Hey, good morning.
So thanks for checking in here this morning. Hopefully we didn't scare you off in that last segment there with Charlie talking a little political talk there and everything. You probably caught the tail end of that conversation. You're like, what show am I on here? I thought I was on a business show. So, but
yeah.
I appreciate you checking in and everything. So first off, tell us a little bit more. You're an author of your best-selling book, Business Travel Success. Tell me about your book.
Well, I wrote my book after 25 years of business travel, a lot of it out of Orlando, back and forth to and from the airport. And boy, I learned a heck of a lot the hard way. And my goal is to help other people not learn things the hard way, to be smarter travelers.
What type of business were you in that you were traveling so much?
Consulting.
Consulting.
So I was gone every Monday to Thursday, every week.
What were you consulting on?
I was doing big system implementations around the world.
Yeah, and so you saw a need or an opportunity then to, give your tips on, travel and some tips on reducing stress and preparing for, the unexpected. I mean, so you probably saw a hole in the marketplace for this type of book?
Absolutely, because, when you get several travelers together, we all start talking about horror stories and that. And I thought, we've all left our family at home, and I thought, I want to help other parents deal with, how do you keep the kids busy and engage with your travel so you can kind of leave a little bit of that guilt, leave that at home when you're out there traveling, doing what you need to do for your work.
So do you still work in consulting now, or is the travel industry and advising on travel industry taking over your career now? What are you involved in today specifically?
I am strictly advising working with the travel industry now to work on better travel policies that get travelers more engaged, and working with HR departments to retain their top travelers, because they can lose some really key people just because of the business travel.
Right. And so people can learn more about you over at smartwomentravelers.com. That's one of your websites. So let's talk about some of the insides of the travel industry. How can you ensure a safe business trip?
Well, it starts with some simple things at home, even from the time you pull out of your driveway and make sure your garage door is closed, to making sure you've got absolutely everything identified, your business card on your laptop, on your iPad, and you've got your itinerary all down, that you know where you're going to be and dates are checked, and those are some things to start with.
Yeah, Charlie over here has a question for you real quick. Charlie, go ahead. What you got?
Hey, good morning, Carol. Charlie, the plumber / U.S. Marine. Hey, sorry if
I could use your help at home today.
Yeah, he's a plumber by trade, so feel free to reach out to him for that too.
I do plumbing and I kill terrorists on the side.
Okay, I don't need that help, and I hope I never meet any of them.
Hey, well, there's plenty of them over here. Hey, you know what, Carol? Now, if I'm all stressed out getting ready to go on a flight, and I'm actually kind of not myself per se, because I've flown a lot, but I know people that are actually scared to fly. My wife is. She gets all apprehensive. I says, honey, take a Prozac or a couple of Valium. What do you think about that? Is that going to be some type of stress relief?
Oh, gosh. I would rather be up in the air than on those roads. I just heard your traffic report over there in Tampa. That's not fun.
Yeah.
That's stressful to me.
Yeah.
To me, it's much, much, much safer up in the air. So I would tell your wife, get into a really good novel, before the flight, she's already into a juicy novel, that keeps her busy the whole flight, and,
stay off the drugs. Yeah.
Stay off the drugs.
Yeah, she's not a proponent of the drugs. I know
some
some of my friends that are scared of flying. They get drunk before they get on the airlines and stuff. So I don't really understand that, because if a plane goes down or something's happening, I want all my senses, firing. So
you know what my wife says works for her? She says, pre-flight sex.
I love Charlie's. This is the most random topics, things. Don't worry, Carol. We're not going to cover that.
I says, honey, that works for me too.
We're not going to cover that. Carol's probably like, what show did these guys put me on today?
You meet all kinds when you're out there traveling, so you just got to go with the flow.
That's what I say.
So share with us, one of your secrets for ensuring safe and enjoyable travel out there. What do you got for us?
A couple things that are really simple, whether domestic or international, is always have the hotel phone number in your phone, because especially as women travelers, when we arrive at a hotel late in the evening, call ahead and just say, I'm about a mile out. Can somebody meet me at the door and walk me in?
Right.
So you feel safe in a parking lot. That has just been wonderful for a lot of women travelers, because that kind of freaks us out arriving late at night.
Mm-hmm.
And hotels are always really happy to do that. And, there's so much about travel checklist, planning checklist. But really, when you leave a hotel room, have a checklist for packing back up again, because you just ask any front desk people, do you guys have a lost and found box? And they will start laughing, because it's so huge of what people leave in their hotel rooms when they check out.
Right. Now, your book, again, you're the author of the best-selling book, Business Travel Success, How to Reduce Stress, Be More Productive, and Travel with Confidence. Where is this book located? I'm sure it's probably on Amazon, but where are some different places people can pick up this book?
It is. You can ask for it at any bookstore, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and right on my website, smartwomentravelers.com, or the name of the book, businesstravelsuccess.com.
Okay. Currently talking with Carol Margolis here. She's business travel expert and travel industry innovator, and again, author of the book, Business Travel Success, How to Reduce Stress, Be More Productive, and Travel with Confidence. And you can learn more about her over at smartwomentravelers.com. Carol, if we're able to hang on the line, I got to take a quick break, and we'll let you share some more tips with the audience coming back into this next segment. And you're currently listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
Hi, welcome to Yeager's. We just want to take a minute and show you what we're all about. At Yeager's, our primary business is hardwood flooring, although we are remodelers for kitchen, bath, and general construction. We operate a fleet of shop-at-home vans that have all the flooring-type products, hardwood flooring, laminate flooring, tile, stone, what have you. So we're able to come out first with products in our vehicles and take a look at the setting, how the colors will work, and then to be able to come up with some options and ideas for you. If that's not good enough, we have a large distribution center that we inventory product and have a nice display area.
Secret consumer tips the banks and credit cards don't want you to know. Listen today at 1 p.m. and be enlightened.
From the Bright House Networks Traffic Center.
As we take a look at the roads around Tampa Bay, pretty good shape this Thursday morning. Most of our accidents around the area are minor in nature and not causing any major delays. Do have slow traffic, though, on all the major roadways, including southbound Veterans from Limeball to Waters, southbound 275, a bit slow near Bush Boulevard, and also westbound I-4 approaching 275. I-75 still slow in Brandon, northbound direction from the Selma Crosstown to State Road 60. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abraham Son and Utica Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line, 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council. Understanding your finances is a key to a strong financial future. Don't be the one who gets left behind. Visit feedthepig.org for tools and tips to get started on the path to financial stability.
1250 winds, weather center forecast. Partly sunny skies today. We'll see a 40% chance of those scattered showers and storms with a high upper 80s near 90 degrees. Low tonight around 80. Chance for some evening showers. Impact Radio 1250 winds, WHNZ.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Again, weekdays at 8 a.m. here on 1250 WHNZ. And always, you can learn more about the show over at TampaBayRadio.com. Joined in studio today by the always colorful and always entertaining and always opinionated Charlie the Plumber. Feel free to tag him in all the different social media posts using the hashtag American Plumber. And also, you're over on Twitter now, right? What's Charlie Z Plumber or something, is it?
Charlie Z Plumber.
Yeah, you just got that thing set up a few weeks ago, so people start following him and tagging him in some stuff and let him know what you think, whether you agree or disagree with him. He always invokes emotion in people and loves to get political in here. So a little bit of change of pace each and every Thursdays here. And again, the Thursdays 8:30 segment brought to us by Jim Yeager of Yeager & Company, a third-generation flooring and remodeling company based up in Odessa, Florida. A great company to work with, and they do some amazing work, and they have a very good showroom for flooring samples. So, reach out to Jim, tell him you heard about him on the radio show. He'll definitely give you a great deal on a remodel or a flooring job, and you can learn more about them over at YeagerFlooring.com. On the phone line, though, I've got business travel expert Carol Margolis on the phone lines, and we're talking about the business travel industry and ways to save money and reduce stress when you're traveling abroad or even locally, wherever the case may be. And you can learn more about her at smartwomentravelers.com. So, Carol, we shared in that last segment, one of your tips, having that phone number ready for when you're, going to the hotel. Share with us another one of your industry insider tips that people should be aware of when they're traveling.
I tell you, I get asked a lot, that I must have, thousands of horror stories with all my years of travel, but I really don't. But where I do is in taxi cabs.
Okay.
So a tip on taxi cabs. You often just get a paper receipt that doesn't have their name or address. It's a generic receipt. Always, always, always get that cab's either license number, registration number, something. So if you forget your cell phone, your sunglasses, you know who that taxi driver was.
Right.
Really, really important. If you're doing any international travel, you probably want to register with the State Department on where you're going to be, and they have a free registration. It's their STEP program, and you can just Google, register international trip with the State Department, and that way they can notify you of any alerts in the country you're visiting,
right.
And if there is any evacuation, they know where you are.
Is that because of
Carol?
Is that because of all the terrorism around the world? I take it, right?
Yes, and just, it's common sense safety things that they will alert you of as well. So, not a bad idea that somebody knows where you are, but also let somebody else at home know where you are, obviously.
Going back to the taxi talk there, what about the ride-sharing programs, Uber and Lyft? Those are definitely making a move and disrupting the travel industry. I think that's a great service to use, but I know some cities don't allow that type of service. What's your input on those ride-sharing programs?
They truly are changing the business travel world. In fact, this weekend starts the big Global Business Travel Association meeting over in Orlando at the Convention Center. And these travel managers just really don't know how to handle this yet because it's so new and different, and they're hearing the news stories about assaults and that. And yet, taxi drivers, you generally do not know who they are when you hop out of that cab. Uber, you know that driver's name, their plate number, their mobile number. You know how to reach them. To me, I feel much safer in an Uber car.
That's funny because these taxi cab companies, the drivers all have to be licensed. They pay a big fee to where they, per cab to license them. But no, I think Uber is great. It brings in competition. Competition drives down prices. And you know what? And there's a lot of states that want to shut Uber down. But, hey, from what I've seen, it's been a great success.
It has been, and they're only going to get bigger. I think their paper valuation is more than 70% of the Fortune 500 companies. They're not going away.
So are some business leaders, with regard to travel and stuff, advising the travelers or the employees of the companies to stay away from ride-sharing programs and to use traditional taxis? Is that going on?
That's a little bit of that is going on, and as well as a little bit of sharing with the employees on what service to use of Uber. So Uber offers the, average Joe that's trying to make some extra money on the weekend kind of driver using his or her personal car versus a black car service, which is generally a chauffeured, somebody who's got a chauffeur license. And corporate feels that that's a lot safer to use and still at a better price than normal black car service.
Now, what about, just something that popped into my head, what about credit card miles and things of that nature? Are you able to comment or give any tips on, the best credit cards out there for getting, airline miles? It's not something that I pay much attention to myself, but do you have any input on that?
Oh, yeah, you should see my wallet. I've got credit cards for every hotel chain and every airline I fly. And this is a great tip for, family travel. If you're heading out of Tampa, maybe on Delta Airlines, look a couple months in advance of what their credit card deals are, because if you book your whole family's trip on one itinerary and you've got their credit card, generally your bags are checked free. You might get priority boarding, and a lot of them offer, the first year with no annual fee. And the same with hotels. A lot of them offer a couple of nights free after you've spent, maybe put $2,000 or $3,000 on the credit card, which, these days is not difficult to do just by buying groceries.
Is there any one credit card that you recommend or that one stands out for just great deals with regard to airline miles or services that you get from using it, or is it, pretty much similar across many different cards?
Oh, no. They're all a little bit different in what they offer, so it's kind of what your habits are as far as airline or hotel preferences you have. But a really popular one out there is American Express's Starwood SPG card. for its flexibility on moving your points around to other, airlines and hotels, as well as the Chase plan. You can move, you can collect miles or points, and then you can move them all around. So really, it's, there's a lot of websites out there that talk about miles and points and credit cards, and so it's worth Googling some of that, and do it 2 to 3 months before your trip, so you've got a chance to get the credit card before you travel.
You know what? That's a good idea, keeping your credit card safe. Well, how about women when they travel? How about them keeping themselves safe? What type of tips do you have for women who travel by themselves, Carol?
I wouldn't be putting on Facebook that, hey, I'm leaving my home for, 2 weeks in Hawaii. Maybe start doing that after you've already returned home. On the luggage tag, do not put your name. Just have maybe first initial, last name, so people don't realize it's a female bag. If a hotel, when you check in, they say, hey, Miss Margolis, you're in room 302, just say, can you please give me another room number, and not give the room number out loud?
Certainly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what I really hate is walking into a restaurant and I'm by myself and they'll say, just one?
Right.
I couldn't decide which husband to bring, or, you feel like you're friendless when they ask that way. But really feel confident going into a restaurant. Every one of them is happy to serve you, and just, table for one if you're not comfortable. Bring a book to read or your tablet or something. But it's sad when I hear of people who never go to a restaurant because they're uncomfortable eating alone, and don't. Just bring something to keep you busy and go for it. There's such great places out there to eat.
Yeah. Now, Carol, we were just talking about mentioning your website, smartwomentravelers.com, a number of times. I see you have another website, businesstravelsuccess.com. What are some of the differences between the sites and the resources that people can get from these different sites?
Yeah, Smart Women Travelers, I offer a free ebook there, 70 Secrets to Safe Travel. Anyone can get it. Just head to the website, and there's a box to fill in your email, and you'll have it in seconds. Okay. And that one's a lot of travel tips. I started writing for women like me who traveled for business, but it's really for all travelers. And then Business Travel Success is named after the book, and that's my corporate site where I work with corporate travel managers and HR and training and development.
Okay, and you've spoke on this topic in a number of places. I mean, you've been heard on Good Morning America, CNN, Fox TV, USA Today. I mean, so you're available for speaking engagements and training and consultations on this topic for any people in the managerial field out there that need some guidance on this, correct?
Absolutely, and I love working with corporate on this travel topic and retaining their top talent, because I quit because of too much business travel. And I've had people quit on me for the same reason, and I want to try to not have that happen to your key employees.
Well, what's the best way that listeners can get some more information or get in touch with you? Go ahead and put out your contact information to get in touch with you.
Yeah, I would just say head to either one of those websites, smartwomentravelers.com or businesstravelsuccess.com. And all my social media, my email, everything is on those pages.
All right, sounds like a plan. Carol, I appreciate you checking in with us this early Thursday morning, and wish you the best of luck in the business.
Hey, have a great day, guys.
Thank you very much.
Hey, be safe traveling, Carol.
And again, that was Carol Margolis, business travel expert and author of her book, Business Travel Success, How to Reduce Stress, Be More Productive, and Travel with Confidence. And you can learn more about her over at smartwomentravelers.com as well as businesstravelsuccess.com. We're going to take a quick break, but coming back from the break, I want to finish up with old Charlie the Plumber here, and you're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com. Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage want you to experience the thrill of one-day underwriting and the comfort in knowing your loans will be clear to close in record time. While the competition looks to a lost closing date, Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage focus on their 12-day clear to close. They do this by utilizing their world-class operations staff to underwrite your loan within 6 hours, process your loan in 12 days, and have your loan closed in time. underwritten in 6 hours, cleared to close in 12 days. Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage.
Hey there, it's Lynn Wise, the founder of Wise Business Advisors and Contractor Business Alliance. I am a certified value builder advisor, and I help business owners build a company that will allow them to have the business that they dreamed of when they started. Why did you go into business for yourself? I'm sure it was not to work 100 hours a week with no work-life balance and no financial freedom. What am I talking about? I'm talking about building a business that provides value to you and your family now and in the future. You can learn about the 8 essential areas of a business that you must build to have a business that can be an asset for your future. Go to wisebusinessadvisors.com and take the Value Builder score. It is free and will deliver your score immediately on how you are doing on building a valuable business for you and your family. Or call me at 772-834-8513 to learn more about the Value Builder system.
Tampa Bay weather is a roof killer. That's why when getting your roof done, you want it done right. Hi, I'm Jamie Maloney of That Business Show. When considering a new roof or repair, talk to Westfall Roofing. They've been installing high-quality roofs in Tampa Bay for over 25 years. Get a free, no-obligation estimate by calling 855-99-ROOFING. That's 855-99-ROOFING. Find out what already 15,000 satisfied customers already know. Call now, 855-99-ROOFING.
Are you looking for a local real estate firm that knows the market and has your interests in mind? Then contact Jim McPeak at McPeak Real Estate Firm, a family-owned business whose agents have over 60-plus years of experience in the Tampa Bay market. Many of the agents are military veterans that know the VA process for buying a home and are proud to help our military members in any way they can. From residential to commercial real estate, McPeak Real Estate Firm is here to help. Contact Jim at 813-495-3875 and learn more at McPeakTeam.com.
Have you considered a reverse mortgage as part of your retirement financial plan? For homeowners age 62 or older, a reverse mortgage from Access Reverse Mortgage is a safe, economical way to turn your home's equity into cash or monthly income. Access Reverse Mortgage is a family-owned company based right here in the Tampa Bay area for the past 10 years. They are A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau and Florida's leading reverse mortgage provider. Call 727-347-0305 or go to accessreverse.com to start your research today. NMLS number 4566. That's 727-347-0305.
From the Bright House Networks Traffic Center.
Lots of slow traffic on the interstates throughout Tampa Bay. Westbound I-4 approaching 275. There's a minor crash there off to the side, right there at the exit to northbound 275. Also, we're still seeing slow traffic off the Howard Franklin Bridge. A crash in northern Pinellas County along US 19 at Tarpon Avenue, slowing things down. See traffic problems, call the injury firm of Abraham Son and Uterick Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line, 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by iHeartMedia.
At iHeartMedia, we've harnessed the power of sound in a way that can help you expand your reach to a new group of target customers and grow your business through customized and effective advertising. Call 844-BUY-RADIO or go to iHeartMedia.com.
Today, a 40% chance of showers and storms with a high of 90. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 80. Tomorrow, a 60% chance of rain with a high 88.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
Thanks for staying tuned in, everybody. You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business again each weekday morning at 8 a.m. here on 1250 WHNZ. And you can always learn more about this show over at TampaBayRadio.com. Thursdays at 8:30, always brought to us by Jim Yeager of Yeager & Company. Learn more about them at YeagerFlooring.com. They are a third-generation flooring and remodeling company, and just an all-around great guy, and does some great work for me, and I know he does for the other consumers out in the Tampa Bay region. And again, visit YeagerFlooring.com. Mention that you heard about him on the radio show, and that Jamie recommended that you contact him, and he'll give you a good deal on your next flooring or remodeling project. In that last segment, we're talking with Kara Margolis. She was a business travel expert, so we're talking about tips on business travel and ways to prevent some unexpected things from happening by just preparing a little bit better. And you can learn more about her at smartwomentravelers.com as well as businesstravelsuccess.com. Also joined in studio today by the always colorful, always entertaining, and very opinionated Charlie the Plumber. Tag him with the hashtag American Plumber on all the different social networking sites. Let him know what you think, whether it's good or bad. He'd love to hear from you, and I know he'll engage you if you tag him in something. So, and also follow him over on Charlie Z Plumber if you'd like to keep up to date with him. He just finally opened up a Twitter, right?
I sure did, and that way we
hit the red button there.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. You know, I sure did, Jamie. You know, that way we could stay in contact and, you know, discuss the current, just the current events. And current events are no more than current history. And what I like to say, Jamie, is people that don't study history, they're doomed to repeat it. So people need to keep abreast on what's going on. It's just like, we talked about the Confederate flag. It was funny the other day. I ran into a black gentleman who's flying the Confederate flag behind his truck here in Tampa, Florida.
Yeah, how'd that happen? You said you were just driving down the road and you saw him.
Yeah,
what did you do? Flash your lights at him to get him pull over?
He pulled into a McDonald's, and I pulled in behind him, and we struck up a conversation and started taking some pictures by him with this flag. And another gentleman came up with his girlfriend, and we all started taking pictures together and started talking about the flag and talking about the history of it, the state rights. And he says he's driving around just trying to educate people about the flag, about the Southern heritage, the Southern history. And it's not about hatred. And he says that he gets threatened by black people once in a while because of it. But he says he tries to set them straight, just like we were in here with Representative Ed Narain. And, Ed wasn't for the flag, and he thought it was about hatred. But then again, Ed's from up north, and it seems like most of the people from up north got a big problem with it. But the people, and even the black Americans down here in the South, there's a lot that don't have an issue with it. And you know what? It's not about hatred. You know what? I got a picture of this Dylan Roof right here. You see what he's wearing?
The Gold's Gym shirt.
He got the Gold's Gym tank top on with the Confederate flag. You know what? And if I use the same reasoning that people use since he's holding that flag, let's ban all gold shirts, all Gold Gym shirts, the tank tops. That's racist. He's wearing a Gold's Gym tank top. Let's ban those. That's the same reasoning and philosophy. So I'm thinking, it took this for them to ban the flag because a few hate groups use it, Jamie. They've taken it and they've run with it. And like I said, it's about our Southern heritage. It's not about what these hate groups have made it out to be.
Yeah, but you got to remember, though, you always got to look at the, the needs of the many, so to speak. And I think more African Americans find the flag offensive. And so on state grounds, I don't believe it is appropriate. If you want to fly it in your own personal yard, that's my opinion. But again, just because you find, one African American that flies it doesn't justify, that everybody else should do it as well.
The government doesn't care about what the many think. You know what? There could be a small group like the gays. They make up 2% of the population, but they can shove the gay marriage down our throat. The atheists, they make up such a small group of people. They've had prayer taken out of school. So that argument doesn't hold water because the government usually will make laws to protect the small minority. They could give a rat's petunia for what the majority think.
But this is, it's a great country, and that's why I'm a believer in states' rights, because if you want to believe, and I support people's beliefs, whether they're on the right or the left, given, number one, that you're not physically harming another person or stealing from another person. I could sit across, from somebody that's very racist, or I could sit across somebody very liberal, and I could have a conversation with them. I'm not necessarily going to agree with either side necessarily, but I respect everybody's opinion, and if you want to believe what you want to believe, then you should have the ability to go to a state where other people are like you, and then, live amongst your fellow kind, as long as you're not hurting or stealing from other people.
We should do that because you know what, Jamie, we are actually two different countries. We are so divided. On one hand, we're the United States of America. On the other hand, we're the United Socialist States of America. And we're just as divided as back during the Civil War.
Yeah, we're headed down a dangerous road right now with the division that was occurring in our society. And if it keeps going in this direction, we're headed towards another Civil War, 100 years down the road or so. It's going to take a while to get to that point again. But we've got to definitely change direction. We got to understand that people are going to believe differently, and we're not going to change people.
Well, that's right. And the way that I look at it, when 51% of the people can vote to take money away from 49% of the people and redistribute it to them, that's time for us to change. You know what? I want to live in the United States of America. I don't want to live in the United Socialist States of America because per capita, we owe more money than Greece. And we all know that Greece is bankrupt. We're $19 trillion in debt. But that $19 trillion, by the time we pay interest, is more like $70 trillion. But see, people have no idea of how many zeros that is. They could care less. They're kicking the can down the road. We're running up the credit card. Our grandchildren and great-great-grandchildren are going to be paying this back. Obama's just running up the credit card. He could care less, Jamie.
And another thing about me, I'm for minimal government. I am more for self-reliance, and
Amen.
I believe in that you need to take care of yourself, and the government should support the strong, or otherwise the country is going to crumble if we consistently support the weak and those who cannot support themselves. I mean, it's great, and we as individuals definitely need to give back and help the weaker. But we can't, have a policy that we keep supporting the weak.
No, that's right. And Donald Trump has some great ideas. But let me tell you what he said about John McCain was stupid, asinine. He stuck his foot in his mouth. But he came back and kind of apologized about that. If it would have been me, I would have put it this way about John McCain. I would say, John, I thank you for your service to our country. You're a great American. But your politics suck. You've been in here way too long. You've been in here 40-some years. You overstayed your welcome. It's time for you to get out of politics. How about that?
So who's your candidate so far on the right side? Is it McCain? Is it Trump? Is it somebody else? I mean, who's your guy right now?
No, I want McCain to get the hell out of politics. I want term limits.
Is McCain even running? I don't think he's announced.
No,
he's
not.
There's like 20-some people that have announced in the Republican field.
Even people on both sides have been in there many, many years. They all need to leave. Like I said, they're all like dead fish. After a while, they all begin to stink. But right now, I still like Donald Trump because he's going to bring back jobs from China. He's going to secure the border. Oh, I don't agree with Donald Trump on everything, but he got plenty of his own money. He's not going to be held or bound by these special interest groups that give him money because he doesn't need their money. He got plenty of his own.
I like Donald Trump, but Donald Trump doesn't have military experience. And as I was telling you during the break, I believe
Barack Obama didn't either.
No,
he was a great community organizer, and look where that's getting us.
I believe presidents should be both business leaders at some point in their life, and they should have served in the military. Those two components are tantamount to leadership of this country.
Well, Donald Trump has the business part down pat. And you know what? I'd rather have a damn businessman in there than a damn stupid constitutional knows nothing community organizer Barack Hussein Obama.
I was excited about Trump when he announced, but I don't know. I'm questioning his judgment. I mean, the comments about McCain, I'm not going to hang my hat on that one comment and stuff. But I think it's too much of a celebrity. He's trying to get in front of the cameras and keep his name in front of people and stuff. I think he's just worried too much about being a celebrity. We need somebody who doesn't want to be in front of that camera and who's behind the scenes taking care of the country.
Some people say, well, he's doing it for the money. He's not doing it for the money. He's rich. He's already lost tons of money. By Macy's stopped selling his products. There's a lot of companies that have actually disowned him and disavowed him now. So he's not doing it for the money. I think he's doing it to help our country, to make our country great again. And right now, Donald Trump has my vote.
No, well, we'll have to wait to see. It's a crowded Republican field out there, and a lot of things are going to come out before this thing's all said and done. And I think we know on the left is going to be Hillary. I think there's only like one other person that's announced on the left.
Well, there's one other person I really love to death is Dr. Benjamin Carson. Mm-hmm. He's a great American success story. He grew up in the ghetto. He became a brain surgeon. His brother became a rocket scientist. I love the guy. God bless you, Ben Carson.
Well, we'll carry this conversation next week. Charlie will be back in here, and again, he's in here every Thursdays as part of the Remodeler's Corner, brought to us by Jim Yeager of Yeager & Company, a third-generation flooring and remodeling company based up in Odessa, Florida. And again, learn more about them at YeagerFlooring.com. Well, be sure to catch me back in here tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. And again, you've been listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.